annual Estrella Del Deporte, Star Athlete of the Month. An award presentation sponsored by Commissioner Jesse Gonzalez in partnership with the Giving Tree of South Texas Foundation, KLDO TV Univision, Your Laredo Fox, and Prodigy Tees. In addition, I want to acknowledge and thank our sponsors, Ed's Trophies, Walmart, Chick-fil-A, Playmore, and Commissioner's Court for their collaborative support. My name is Lisa De Leon, and I am delighted to be and to join you this morning to serve as your Mistress of Ceremonies. At this time, please help me welcome Sister Rosemary Welsh of Mercy Ministries of Laredo for the invocation.
If you can all remain seated, please. You can keep your seats because this is going, they told me, Jesse, you said 45-minute prayer? Good, you're at least awake. That's good, that's great. What an honor to be here, Jesse, for the invitation. Jesse says, where we go. So thank you. Because we're out in the same area where Wawi is and we all journey together. Correct? Correct. Thank you. Creator God, as we gather today, let us give thanks for another day of life and the opportunity to use our gifts and talents for the benefit of others. We give thanks for the foresight of Commissioner Jesse Gonzalez and the collaborative efforts of Univision and the Giving Tree of South Texas Foundation and all the sponsors for this creative program that will recognize high school athletes not only for their athletic abilities and achievements, but also for their academic standing and good conduct and leadership skills. We give thanks for the parents of these young students, for their good example, and yes, for their struggles that they had. And that during all these years, they participated in parent-teacher meetings, fundraising activities, and volunteered in the schools to give their children good examples. We give thanks for the entire athletic and academic and social programs at the schools that have supported and encouraged these young students to be leaders on and off the field. Lastly, we thank each of these young athletes for their commitment to make their schools a safe and secure for all the students and not for just a few. We ask our God to give them the courage to reach out to the students that may feel isolated, afraid, or bullied, and to be their friends. I have a prayer that I'd like to just read because I think it says it to all of us. People are so much a part of our lives, and this is for the students and their parents. People are so much a part of our daily lives that we seldom realize how important we are to each other. Birthdays, anniversaries, and holidays give us a cause for reflection, but most of the time we go through life without giving much thought to how much we depend on each other, reach out to each other, and love one another. I'm sort of speaking about your parents and the teachers that have brought you to this day. The reality is that each of us is God's gift to every person who is a part of our life, if even for a brief time. All of us have such people, gifts from God, who are present to us each day, either in person or in our hearts. So today, God and the students here, we give thanks today for all the people who you have sent to love us and them, befriend us and them, and be with them in good times and in bad times. And lastly, we ask Almighty God, bless us and keep us in your loving care, especially these beautiful young people. Bless them and let your face shine upon them every single day. May the Lord look upon them with mercy and give them peace, and always to realize how very important you are to your family and to your friends. You are a gift to your community, and we bless you. We ask all this in our loving God's name. Amen. Thank you.
Now, can you all please stand for the presentation of colors by Webb County Constable Mike Villarreal's Color Guard, and please remain standing for the national anthem sang by Ed Gonzalez, Vietnam veteran.
Underguard, left hand, tip. Carry, color. Forward, work. Ready, hold. Left, straight. Freeze it, color.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight are the ramparts we were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? All the land and of the free and the home of the brave.
Forward, mark.
You may be seated. All right. Well, La Estrella Del Deporte is a project initiated by Commissioner Jesse Gonzalez in collaboration with Univision's Danny Martinez and the Giving Tree of South Texas Foundation. The intent of this project was to do something that was never done before: recognize high school senior athletes. Commissioner Gonzalez saw the opportunity and took it a step further in seeking a scholarship from the Giving Tree of South Texas Foundation. The foundation is to award a $2,500 scholarship to the top athlete of the year, La Estrella Del Deporte del Año. Commissioner Gonzalez's vision of this program is not only to recognize, but also to prepare athletes with the instruments needed after graduation, conveying the opportunity in their upcoming future. At this time, I would like to introduce several new additions to our partnership. Please give a big round of applause to Prodigy Tees, Playmore, and Chick-fil-A. Now to our keynote speaker. He was born and raised in Laredo. His family owns and operates Jetball North and Playmore Family Entertainment Center. He graduated from J.W. Nixon High School in 1995. After high school, he attended Hardin Simmons University in Abilene, Texas, where he studied criminal justice with a minor in political science. While at Hardin Simmons University, he played football for 4 years, in which the team won 3 conference championships and was honored, selected all conference 3 times. He was then recognized as one of Laredo Morning Times' top 100 athletes in the history of Laredo. In 2012, he was inducted to the Latin Sports Hall of Fame, and in 2016, he was named a J.W. Nixon Mustang legend. Hardin Simmons University played a huge role in his life, establishing his legacy under his father's name. His legacy focuses on students from Webb County who show interest in furthering their education and playing football at the next level, giving young Laredo athletes the same opportunities he had through the importance of education, a cause that is priority to him. Without further ado, please help me welcome Mr. Roque Vela Jr.
Good morning, everybody. One of the benefits of not being an elected official anymore is I don't have to wear a suit and tie. First, let me congratulate Commissioner Gonzalez and everybody a part of this organization. Something like this is vital to our community. And when I was growing up, we didn't have organizations or things like this to be able to push our youth to go into college. When I was growing up, I didn't think college was for me, to be quite honest with you. And if not for my parents basically demanding that not only I go to college, but I go to college as far away from Laredo as possible, there's no telling whether or not I would have ended up being the man I am today. I'm gonna, forgive me, but I'm gonna jump around a little bit because there's so many things that I went through as a young man to get me to this point. And I'm gonna talk about a couple of stories just to try and tie it all in together for you guys. I played arena football as well in a couple of different cities. I played in Corpus, Amarillo, ended up playing arena football here in Laredo as well. When I was in Amarillo, the GM for the Amarillo Dusters was also from that area. And pushing high school students to the next level was something that was important to him. So he had a couple of guys from the team and some friends of his work a high school combine so that we can, test or measure their strengths and their speed and all the things that go with being able to put your measurables on paper so that we can present it to the college, to the schools at the next level. And one of the people that he invited was Aaron Taylor. Now, Aaron Taylor was from San Diego. He played offensive line at Notre Dame. Alden Trophy Award winner, best offensive lineman in the nation. First rounder, went on to win a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers. And one of the things he said really stood out to me. He was raised by a single mother. And the single mother worked the graveyard shift at the emergency room. So being a 16-year-old junior, 17-year-old junior, he figured out when she would get home. So he'd stay out with his friends all night until usually about 3 in the morning. She'd get home about 5. Well, one night she gets home a little bit earlier, and she's waiting for him at the kitchen table. And Aaron gets home, and she's disappointed. And she asks Aaron, "What are you doing? What are your plans?" He says, "Well, I'm gonna play football. I'm gonna get a Division I scholarship, and I'm gonna go play in the NFL." And she says, "I hear what you're saying. I hear the things that are coming out of your mouth, but your actions are telling me something very different." And at that point, it really resonated with me because I can think of so many of my friends. I mean, you hear the accomplishments that I had on the football field. And believe me when I say I was not one of the best football players on my high school football team, or certainly not the best. But there were so many of my friends that said they were going to do some things, and I'm sure you guys have friends too that say they're going to do this, say they're going to do that, and then 10 years later they end up being what I call the woulda, coulda, shouldas. I could have done this, I could have done that, I would have done this. But they didn't, because their actions to be able to accomplish those goals, they weren't taking. It was just a lot of talk. You're at a critical junction in your life where you're going to take one way or the other way in that fork of the road. For me, my freshman year was a very defining year for me. Not so much because of the things that I accomplished, because I took that wrong road my freshman year. And luckily I had some parents that were able to rein me back in and put me back on the straight and narrow. But you're going to have the opportunity to be able to accomplish every single thing that you want to accomplish. Whether or not you accomplish those things is going to be 100% on you. I have somebody that's very that was really a huge part of molding me, the person I am, my wife. And she has a saying, she says, if you can see the obstacle in front of you, then you've lost sight of the goal. Going into your first year of college is going to be a lot of obstacles, whether it's money, whether it's living in a different community, having a name like Roque and going to school in Abilene, where nobody could say my name. I got called like five different names. There's going to be some uncomfortable situations that you're going to be in. There's going to be some very difficult situations that you're going to be in. And you're either going to choose to power through them and accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, or you're going to choose to succumb to those. And that's going to be completely upon you. What you choose, how you choose to handle those situations, those hurdles that you're going to be facing. What happens, the person that you're going to be, the things that you're going to accomplish are going to be completely defined by how you handle those situations. And again, I had some things that I went through, regardless of the things that you accomplish sometimes. You're always just reminded of that one mistake that you made. And it's going to happen. Sometimes there's going to be some mistakes that you make along the way. Nobody's perfect. Absolutely nobody is. But how you allow those things to define you is what makes you the person that you're going to be. Are you going to allow the mistakes to define you? Or are you going to allow the things that you accomplish to define you? And those life lessons that you have, and how you handle those is going to be the person that you're going to end up being. So please take advantage of the gift that you have in front of you, and that gift is youth. And when I say, when you're going to hear this a lot, and I heard it a lot when I was younger, is if I only knew then what I know now, and now when I'm 42 years old, I know exactly what they meant. But you have this opportunity in front of you to be able to accomplish these great things, to make the radio what it can be a part of what the radio can be. And it's up to you whether or not you seize that opportunity that's in front of you. And I hope and pray that you take advantage of that you seize the opportunity in front of you, that you accomplish the goals that are in front of you, that you set forth in front of you, and not let those obstacles that are in front of you, because there is going to be obstacles. There always is, and that's what makes the accomplishments that much sweeter when you do accomplish them, because of the trials and tribulations that you go through to be able to accomplish those goals. So good luck in the next year, and please do not ever give up, lose hope, or let people hold you back. I remember coming home and, in the 90s, the internet was just kind of getting started. There certainly wasn't any Facebook, and everybody didn't know everybody's business like they do nowadays. And when I would come home for the holidays, I'd run into some old friends, and they say, what are you doing? What are you up to? I said, I'm playing football at Hart Simmons. And they're like, see, banca. And I go, no, actually, I'm starting. We won a conference championship, and I was all conference. But it was just that type of mentality that they were always trying to bring you down. Use that as fuel. Use those conversations as fuel, those naysayers as fuel, so that you can go and accomplish things that you want to accomplish, so that when you come home and you have those conversations, you can walk just a little bit taller. So again, good luck, and seize that moment in front of you. And Commissioner and everybody else involved with this, thank you so much for supporting our youth. Have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Vela. At this time, I want to acknowledge the nominating coaches, the campus and athletic coordinators from the high schools, and I also want to acknowledge the Giving Tree of South Texas Foundation board members present with us here today. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, before we begin with the presentation of awards, I would like to call upon the president of the Giving Tree of South Texas Foundation, Ms. Janelle Cole Gonzalez, to say a few words.
Good morning. As president of the Giving Tree of South Texas Foundation, I'm honored to be part of this distinguished program. The Giving Tree of South Texas Foundation encourages, empowers, and inspires students to pursue and create opportunities to continue higher education through financial support. Our scholarships are awarded to those who demonstrate generosity, honesty, integrity, and kindness. Last year, the foundation awarded more than 10 academic scholarships to Webb County high schools. This year, we were able to help launch La Estrella Del Deporte and recognize top senior high school athletes such as yourselves. It is a true honor to recognize not only sports, but academics as well. Congratulations to all.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Now let us begin as we recognize La Estrella del Deporte for the month of February. From participating schools of Laredo Independent School District, United Independent School District, Webb Consolidated School Districts, and the Diocese of Laredo. Commissioners and sponsors, if you could please come to the front. Bear with us. Just getting ready. Are we ready? Okay, let's begin. Our first athlete from Webb CISD Bruni High School, Teresa Perez. Teresa is here today representing the sport of volleyball. The sport of volleyball, an all-around athlete. Her nominating coaches are Naya Matthews and Odell James. Principal is Dr. Garza. Teresa plans to attend Texas A&M International University and earn a bachelor's degree in nursing. Her parents are Michael and Joanne Rodriguez. From Dr. Leo G. Ciarroa High School, Alexandra Ramon. Alexandra is representing the sport of basketball. Her nominating coach is Mary Encinas and principal Ms. Laura Flores. Teresa's goal is to graduate at the top of her class as she has worked hard to maintain a 97.63 GPA. She has been focusing on her criminal justice courses as her career goal is to become a lawyer. Her top two college preferences are Texas A&M International University or the University of Arizona for her undergraduate studies and St. Mary University Law School. Her parents are Jose Luis and Diana Ramon. From Harmony School of Excellence, Priscilla Gomez. Priscilla is representing the sport of volleyball. Her nominating coach is Liliana Gonzalez and principal Mustaf Priscilla is currently ranked 15th in her class. She plans to pursue a degree in criminal justice with a minor in business at Texas A&M International University, pending acceptance from TAMU Corpus Christi and TAMU Kingsville. She plans to become a DEA agent and wants to open her own business. Her parents are Horacio and Araceli Gomez. From Lyndon B. Johnson High School, Nara Alvarado. Nara is representing the sport of basketball. Her nominating coach is Lisa Abercorn and principal Armando Salazar. Nada plans to enroll in college and pursue a degree in elementary education. Her parent is Martina Alvarado. From John B. Alexander High School, Donovan Etheridge. Donovan is representing the sport of football, basketball, and track. His nominating coach is Sergio Salinas and principal Ernesto Sandoval. Donovan has been a three-sport varsity letterman for the past 3 years. He was recognized as 29 6A Most Outstanding Defensive Back, as well as All-City First Team Safety. Donovan plans to become a coach. His parents are Joel and Adriana Etheridge. From J.W. Nixon High School, Justine Bernal. Justine is representing the sports of volleyball and basketball. Her nominating coach is Adriana Rodriguez and principal Cassandra Mendoza. Justine currently ranks 10th of 479 with a GPA of 101. She is a AAA Silver and AAA Gold Award recipient and was a Border Patrol Youth of the Month. Justine plans to attend the University of Texas McComb School of Business. Her parents are Cristina and Ivan Hernandez. From Martin High School, Miguel Ángel Escamilla. Miguel Ángel is representing the sport of track and field. His nominating coaches are Libor Hinojosa and Juan A. Garza. Principal Guillermo Pro. Miguel Ángel is a 4-year letterman in both cross country and track and field. Miguel has participated twice at the Region 4 cross country meet and 3 times at the Region 4 track and field meet. Miguel has won various individual and team district championships in both cross country and track and field. Miguel currently holds the school record in the 800-meter run and is aiming to break the city record this coming year. Miguel has a GPA of 99.5 and is ranked 12 in his class. Miguel plans to attend Texas A&M University, where he plans to study sports management in order to achieve his goal of becoming a sports agent. His parents, Emerico and Cristina Escamilla. From St. Augustine High School, Horacio Perez. Horacio is representing the sport of golf. His nominating coach is Clarissa Mancha Villarreal, Principal Olga Gentry. Horacio has played golf at the varsity level since his freshman year, winning many tournaments as a team and individually. Horacio has been named All-State for the past 2 years playing golf. He not only excels in golf, but his academics as well, as he maintains a 97 average. Horacio is a member of the National Honor Society, Student Council, and Knights Interactive President. His parents are Horacio and Melissa Perez. From United High School, Alicia Velasco. Alicia is representing the sport of volleyball. Her nominating coach is Leticia Longoria, Principal Alberto Aleman. Alicia has been accepted to the University of Texas at Austin. She plans to study biology, following a pre-med track, aspiring to become a sports medicine physician. In addition, Alicia wants to inspire Hispanics to chase their own American dream. Her parents are Gerardo Velasco and Alicia Leiva de Velasco. Our final recipient from United South High School, Leila Espinosa. Leila is representing the sport of track and field. Her nominating coach is Joe Coronado, Principal Adriana Ramirez. Leila is a 4-year varsity powerlifter. She has won numerous meets and received the Outstanding Lifter Award multiple times. Leila holds a silver medal at state level. She is currently ranked #1 in the state of Texas in her weight class. Leila currently holds a GPA of 3.61 and has been accepted to attend the University of Chicago, where she will major in criminal justice. She plans to become a forensic crime scene investigator. Her parents are Peter and Cristina Espinosa. In addition, I'm proud to announce that Leila will be competing at Region 5 Division 1 Powerlifting Championship in Clark, Texas on March the 2nd for a chance to advance to the State Powerlifting Championships in Waco, Texas on March the 16th. Leila, we wish you the best of luck and bring home the gold. Before I introduce our final speaker for closing remarks, please do not leave. We will be taking pictures in the order each recipient was called, okay? Now it is with great pleasure that I introduce the man responsible for this program. He is known for his passion for public service and the sense of responsibility for bettering his community, evident in every project, event, and decision he makes since taking office in 2016. He strongly believes that as a community leader, he is responsible for improving his constituents' quality of life and has made a significant impact in the community. Please give a warm welcome to Webb County Commissioner Jesse Gonzalez.
Well, good morning, and of course, a big thank you to everybody that's here that makes this ceremony possible. Because of you all that are here, parents, teachers, coaches, principals, of course, future or current county leaders, city leaders, and of course, everybody else that's involved here. It's for a reason that we're here today. And it's an idea, but without the collaboration and working together with different organizations and different leadership from Webb County and Laredo, this wouldn't have been possible. And we do it because we care for you. We care for our youth, but more than anything, we want to create leaders. We want to mold leaders, and you guys are the best of the best, and that's why you're here sitting here today. You were nominated for a reason, because you excel both in academics and in athletics, and as well as you giving back to the community. So volunteering your time is also very, very important, and that's why you're here today. Don't forget that. When you go to college, maybe out of town or locally, always remember where you come from. Like my good friend Roque mentioned earlier. You want to come back and you want to offer the best what you've accomplished and give it back to Laredo. Give it back to the community. Give it back to that future generation that's going to be in front of you guys. All right? So never forget where you're coming from. Always stay grounded. Somos de Laredo, right? From all throughout Laredo. And what nobody knows here is that I'm secretly creating the best traveling team in all around sports, because guys, every month we're going to have the best of the best out here. So let's give them a round of applause. Para los padres, parents, it takes a lot. I myself, including with my wife, of course, we have two wonderful daughters, and we know the responsibilities and the commitments when you have them involved in sports or any other extracurricular activity. It's after-school practices, weekend games, out-of-town trips and tournaments. It takes a toll. But parents, your sacrifice is paying off. They're right here representing the best of each high school in Laredo County. So congratulations to each of the parents that are here. Keep doing what you're doing and pushing them 100% because it's working. It's working. They're going to be out there next year, and they're going to be representing Laredo wherever they are, and they're going to make us proud. So again, on behalf of Webb County Commissioners Court, I know I have a great team, commissioners, the county judge as well, and they're backing me up in this great idea and working together. So, on behalf of Webb County Commissioners Court and every sponsor that's involved that makes this ceremony, this program a reality, we thank you and we congratulate you. God bless.